Boom. Episode 20, the Wild Times podcast. We are all together. This is a special podcast, our 20th hour on air together.
Wild Times.
We've done a lot of bullshitting tonight. And I think,
People like that.
I like it too.
Yeah.
You literally were just like, hey, should we stop doing what's in the news and just talk shit?
No.
I'm kidding.
That's because I'm lazy. And
No, we got one bad review.
Yeah.
They were angry at how much bullshit we've done.
it's the only thing that requires preparation.
You are joined today by myself, Mr. Forrest Galante, Retep, the brofessor. What's up, Peter?
Hey, guys. Nice to see your faces.
Yeah, fun.
You look
fun.
good. When I walked in
Thanks.
the room today, what did I say to you?
That I look good. I've been tanning. I've been moving, so my muscles and veins are bulging.
Yeah, are you laying out? Because it looks like you've been laying out.
Yeah, I mean, if by that you mean just laying outside in the sun and fucking hanging out, it's not like I'm intentionally laying out. It's a byproduct of being
Stop
a
lying.
lazy
Say
piece
you're
of
tanning.
shit.
Just say you're tanning.
You are very tan. It's weird.
So
as
tan.
fuck.
Weird? He says I look good. Look
It
at you.
does look good. I'm so pale. It's horrific.
You look awful in person,
Okay.
by the way, Pat.
Thank
I
you.
just have to say.
You've destroyed my introduction.
Sorry.
Thank you. And the pale, awful-looking guy on the left, who's actually, in my opinion, looking great because it's the longest hair I've ever seen on him. Definitely thought you were going to try and sell me a used car when I walked in the door.
Oh, God.
It's long. It's
Greasy.
slick.
It's slicked back.
Yeah,
That's important.
There's nothing else you can do with it at this length. It's a problem.
The broducer, Mr. Patrick DeLuca, we're in his kitchen. How are you, dude?
I'm good, man. Real happy to be all together now that we've all tested positive for COVID antibodies. We can we can do this.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm going to cut out the antibodies part.
What's up with the? So did we decide on a name for the crew?
There were a lot of suggestions.
So many suggestions.
What did we get? What are some of the suggestions? Did people like my suggestion, the Wild Boys or the Wild Bunch?
I got wildlings.
I got
to me.
Wildlings is
Wildlings.
solid.
I got that too.
Little Game of Thrones ref.
I got one. God damn it! I'm forgetting what it was. He combined the word bro and listeners, and it was bristlers, bro listeners,
Bro listeners.
Brosners?
brosners. It might have been
Brosners.
brosners. I didn't love it.
You know what's cool about it is when we studied the demographics, our audience is 45% female.
Really?
Yeah, and so I think they like being called bros.
It's 2020.
It's 2020.
Yeah, you can't be like, hey, that's a chick. Like we're all bros.
Gender's not a thing.
It's not.
Like being a bro is like a state of mind.
It is. Yeah, and we embody that.
Yeah, because we're smashing White Claw and Boochcraft.
Wait,
Good.
here's a couple more. Master Brosters. Hang on.
That's once you get upgraded. to a
Cahoots.
Master Brosner.
Cahoots84 was the one that suggested the Wildlings. Thank you for that.
Yep.
The Herd. I like that.
That's already a thing. Unfortunately, there's a very big sports podcast.
Don't want to infringe on their trademark. Wild Timers. Sounds like old timers.
That sounds ancient.
Brosners.
And here.
Brosners.
I like
I think
it.
that's what the guy sent me.
I kind of like Brosners.
And then my favorite comment on last week's podcast post on Instagram from Brown Roberts. What type of mammal is holding those monkeys? In reference to the picture of young Forrest holding two monkeys.
You're digressing.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I know.
It was a fine. It was just a
That was
tag at the end.
part young boy, part beaver. If you look at my teeth in that picture, that was pre-braces Forrest Galante. It's bad.
Your hair surprisingly looks like what Pat's hair looks like now, which is
no, he had the short spiky going. So we're here at the, what's my name? Broducer? I'm the
Broducer.
Broducer.
Producer.
Yeah.
We're at the Broducer's compound. We got NHL playoff hockey on the screen.
Good.
We got the monitors and the big, the what is this thing called? A Mac? What is the fuck is this?
An Apple.
MacBook Pro, or no, a iMac.
iMacs are set up. Retep, as soon as Forrest and I sat down, put 2 White Claws and a glass of Boochcraft in front of each of us.
Good.
And we are ready. So, Forrest, congrats on the, I thought the Shark Week looked great.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that was
Ratings were fantastic, by the way.
fantastic. Yeah, and thank all you guys listening to this. We still don't have a collective noun for you lot. You bras out there.
The Brosners did.
The Brosners.
We just revert to bros and
Yeah.
and hoes. No, sorry, female listeners.
Cut that out.
I'm not cutting it out, dude. What are you talking about? They love it. They're vulgar, just like us.
That's true. I have a friend, a close female friend, who is going on a trip with some of her girlfriends, just like a girls' trip, and they're all married and have kids, and they're just going to just while out at some resort.
Okay. And by while out, you mean go to bed at 9 and...
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like, I started thinking about it. I was like, she's like, yeah, you just go to the pool. It's all just like these super hot dudes, and we just drink at the pool for like 4 days by ourselves away from our husbands and kids.
Oh, I thought they were taking the husbands and kids. I missed
Fuck
that.
no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're all getting railed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Good
God.
for them.
Percento.
Yeah. Good for
Wow.
Yeah.
You're talking about flat out cheating going on?
Is it cheating though if it's on a girls' trip? If it was guys doing it, that's disgusting. You should never do that.
100%.
You're a horrible person.
100% agree.
But I feel like a group of like moms, like let them have a weekend to themselves.
My
Whatever
guess
happens,
would
happens.
be one of them is the wild mom. Like, you all remember that girl from the sorority that was like, oh, yeah, here comes Stacy.
It's funny that it was Stacy at every college.
Every college.
Sorry
yeah.
to any Stacy's in the Brosners, but Forrest has just pulled up on the large monitor here just a bunch of bro words.
Yep.
I see
What do you
you've
got?
highlighted bromigo.
Well, I thought maybe we could call the
Bromigo.
listeners bromigos.
I like that.
Bromigos. Is that cultural appropriation?
Probably.
I'm sure it is.
Is that okay?
I actually don't know what's okay anymore.
I'm clueless.
I have no idea.
Like, I literally don't want to
Bromigos.
offend anyone. Like, this is not me being like, haha, I don't give a shit. This is not being me being a Fox News reporter.
Right.
This is me like, I literally don't want to offend anyone. I just don't know what is and isn't offensive anymore.
I think if
hard
you're
to
listening
tell.
to this show, you're probably just like not the type of person who gets offended very easily.
I would hope not. Yeah.
No,
Unless it's-
they've been filtered out. It's episode 20.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point, we only have a nice curated bunch of wildlings.
Brosners. So, Forrest, I wanted to pick your brain on something here.
Shoot.
So, I have a shoot coming up in a couple weeks, right?
Okay.
And so there's this cenote.
Yep.
Which
Very familiar.
You're into that whole
Yeah,
deal.
big
I've never
time.
been to one.
Peter, what's a cenote?
No
Catch us
fuck.
up to speed.
No clue.
Just
None.
pretend you speak like a lick of Latin and just give us a rough idea of what a cenote might be.
So a cenote is like two palm trees with a hammock in the middle and a
what?
little.
What was that word?
A ham hock in
He
the
was
middle,
picturing himself eating a ham hock in a hammock.
and then like a little shelter over the top of it.
That's not.
How close am I?
It's a. How would you define it for us?
A cenote is a limestone cavern carved out by water. No, not even close. Don't throw your hands up like you're close. Yeah.
All right.
It's a limestone cavern that's a sinkhole that typically has crystal clear water in it with an intricate cave system.
Wow, it sounds
So we're trying to get in.
pretty cool.
So in this cave system in the Yucatan Peninsula, they have discovered a bunch of evidence of inhabitation
Oh, interesting.
14,000 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So numerous skeletons.
Yep.
A bunch of discolorations where they could tell that fires were started. They were able to use the organic material.
And this is all subsurface, this is all underwater currently?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and they've named it the Hall of Ancestors. It's a pretty new discovery, right?
Right. Love it.
But here's the crazy thing. According to the accepted theory of when people came to the Americas, it was 2,000 years before this, or 2,000 years after this. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
So
Wait, sorry. So you're saying that this
changes the
predates.
timeline. Yeah.
Got it.
And they found him in a bunch of different chambers in this huge cave system. But to get to this place, because I'm thinking like a broducer. I'm like,
Of course.
Yeah, we'll get our host down there. He knows how to scuba dive. It'll be no problem. So what I found out today is it's a mixed gas dive, and there's 100-meter section with zero visibility through basically a squeeze that's just big enough for a person.
Yuck.
Yeah, so here I haven't talked to the host of this show about it yet. If I came to you with this for Extinct or Alive, tell me your thoughts. How are we going to do this?
So, well, first, I can dive mixed gas. I've done it a little bit. I'm certified. I'm not great. I've never done a zero visibility dive. And I know what you have to do. You run a line, right? So I'm assuming someone's
The
been in
lines
there
are already
before.
run, yeah.
Lines run. So you're literally hand over hand in zero visibility until you pop out this other side. Mm-hmm. And you have to keep in mind, if you, for any reason, take both those hands off, you're done.
Really?
Literally, the second you release both that line, you're done. You will not find it again. So you at all times have to have one hand on the line because you just won't. You're talking about zero visibility. It's like, in 3 dimensions of space. So it's not like you're blind in a room trying to find the fridge.
Right.
It's like you're blind in the vacuum of space trying to find a needle.
Right.
Yeah.
I was talking to the guy who has been down there and he's going to guide the camera team and everyone down there. And what he said, he's very cool.
Yeah.
Right? He's this Mexican dude, super fucking cool. Every time I've Zoomed with him, he's been smoking a cigar.
Oh, nice.
Love
He's
that.
like, dude, I want to move in with you. And he's like, look, it's I don't know what accent that was.
Yeah,
That was
what was
Romanian.
that?
I liked it.
He's like, it's very doable. He's like, but anyone panics. I mean, that's death. You panic in there, you're gone. Bye bye.
He's right.
I'm like, fuck. Well, I always panic.
Sounds like it'll make for good TV, though.
Right.
Well,
how do you not fucking panic? You're in a hole the size of your body in scuba tank.
Right.
Yeah.
Hand over hand the whole time. Now I'm thinking, don't let go with the left, don't let go with the right.
Correct.
Oh, God.
How fucking close am I? Oh, I don't know. I'll just come out the other side and it's going to be crystal clear.
Correct.
I'm panicking, bro.
You have to.
How do you not panic in this situation? You're pretty good at not panicking.
So back to your original question. If you came with me to do it, I would do it in a heartbeat. It sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
I would also be, and I'll be dead honest, I would be nervous as hell.
Yeah.
I've never done a zero visibility squeeze. That's what you call it in scuba diving when you're going through a tube that you can barely fit through as a squeeze. I've done squeezes before in crystal clear water, and they're freaky enough.
Dude, think about this. 100 meters, I mean, that's the length of a football field, essentially. And no, it's longer because a meter's a half. Yeah.
1.5, Or 1.3.
Panic and anxiety, and you even said, you're saying like I'd be nervous.
For sure.
Right? I've been nervous a million times. I get nervous all the fucking time, right? Flying on a plane, you're going on stage, whatever you're doing. It doesn't ever help you.
No.
It always makes you worse. What are like some techniques you use to sort of push those nerves down when you're doing stuff that's scary?
That's a good question. Like you remember Patrick season 1. So I don't like heights. A lot of our listeners don't know this. You know this.
It's insane that you don't, because you're constantly doing shit that makes me scared.
I know.
Everything makes you scared, mate.
Fair enough.
But I don't like heights. Like I as a kid, I could barely stand on a ladder. Now I bungee jump and I skydive and I climb trees and all that shit. I still fucking hate it every time I do it. Yeah. Like every part of me, I feel like it goes against. But I think just trying to embracing the fear allows me to get through it. So not being like, I'm not scared of this, like knowing that I'm scared of it and that I'm going to do it anyway. Like the first time I skydived, I was like, I know that I'm going to be fucking terrified.
Yeah.
But I also know that I'm going to do it. Like I'm not going to go up there and be like, I can fucking do this. Like I thump my chest. I can get through this. No big deal. That was not my mentality. I was like, I know I'm going to be scared. Let myself be scared and do it anyway. Like push through the fear. And I think that helps me to just accept it and like be like, I'm fucking human. It's okay to be scared.
Yeah.
There's a question. So do you actually like visualize yourself having completed whatever the mission is? Because that's what helps me, because I'm also like a big pussy, like the broducer over here. But I mean, everybody has different thresholds for this kind of thing. You asked me when I was 20 or 21, you want to do a backflip over this bonfire? Sure, why not? Who the fuck cares?
Right.
But now that I'm 36, are you kidding? I don't even want to leave my fucking apartment. I don't want to do anything. I think age has quite a bit to do with just how scared, well, for me anyways, but there's like this whole adrenaline fucking junkie culture out there. I mean, Red Bull TV is on at bars. People are insane.
You guys know this from knowing me. Like I think about things, I think through them, I think over them. I think through it a second time. Like I'm always constantly thinking about every move I'm making. When I'm doing something that terrifies me, I try not to think about it. Mm-hmm. Like, remember that tree in Zanzibar?
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about? Yeah. I literally was like, there could be a leopard 45 feet up in that tree. And that was it. I didn't think I could fall out that tree. If the branch breaks, I'm going to die. Right. I'm scared of the height. I was just like, there could be a leopard up there. That's it. Turn off my thinking, climb.
Right.
Yeah, like if you can harness the adrenaline, it can help you.
For sure.
There's a book in college that I was forced to read in some class called Finding Flow. And it was all about how...
Your period?
I mean...
That was his ex.
Inappropriate for 2020. No. But it was all about how top performers and athletes and shit, they're so experienced and they're so good at what they do that they're not even thinking when they do what they do. And then they just, I would imagine it's kind of the same thing with this shit.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Honnold, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
God, yeah.
Freak.
If he was scared, if he let fear help, inform any decision on any hold, he's of course falling to his death.
Now this is the guy that climbed 3,000-foot
the
wall.
free solo guy.
Yeah, free solo.
And then got up to the top and was like, that was fun.
No rope. No, I listened to an interview with him, and he's like, normally when climbers get to the top of that, people are like, oh my God, like, hello. And like, he just hopped over, had no gear, and like nobody paid any attention to him whatsoever.
So I was just doing some research. We've made the jokes about Forrest not having an amygdala, but like,
It's not a joke.
but I was talking to a psychotherapist for a research project.
Sure.
Yeah. It was not, whatever. But basically, when they do brain scans, the amygdala essentially every second is going, am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? It's constantly checking in. It's not part of your conscious mind, right? So you're not thinking, oh, my amygdala is asking me if I'm safe.
Right.
It's just constantly saying, am I safe? Am I safe? Once a second.
Engaging threats at all times.
At all times.
Yeah.
And so the idea is that every human, and animals, I'm sure all animals, but every human that's alive today has a very active amygdala, because our ancestors, the ones that had the most active amygdalas,
survived.
That asked, am I safe, a lot, and got a lot of what we call false positives, which is what causes anxiety and fears.
Yep.
That's those are our ancestors.
It's a survival response, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have that, you walk into the lion's den, and that's the end of that.
But it's interesting though, because when back to what I said earlier, when you're younger, that's like less. That instinct is way less. You have to learn it. The older I get, the more afraid of everything I am.
I remember being in a plane back when people could smoke on planes. We had just visited my grandpa in Tampa, and
Grandpa in Tampa.
I was in the back. My mom was in the front, and we hit this horrible thunderstorm, and it was turbulent so bad, swear to God, that drinks flew off of the trays, and we hit it suddenly.
Oh, my God.
And people were screaming, and people were crying, and I was, I don't know, I was probably 9.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm on the best roller coaster I've ever been on. I was like laughing. I was looking out the window. It was great. If that happens now, I'm fucking eating a cyanide pill.
I know.
How do I get back to that where I was just like, this is cool
cares?
shit. Yeah. All right, Wild Bunch.
Well, that's cool, man. I think that cenotes thing is awesome. I think that'll be a great show. But
it's too bad you can't go.
Yeah, I know.
To the Wild Bunch and the Brosners, or whatever we're gonna call the crew. I did text Forrest. I was like, hey man, we got a producer spot on this. You want to come? And he was like, I can't.
I really did want to too. It would have been
fun to have you there.
Oh well. But here we are. It's fun being in Patrick's kitchen/office space.
Well, I've also had 2 claws already. So every 20 we get drunk. That's the rule.
Every 20. It's funny you mentioned that, because I've gotten a few comments on Instagram just talking about, when the broducer doesn't drink, he's kind of flat, grim.
You're literally
terrible.
making this up.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I've never not drank.
Yeah, that's how I know.
Yeah, no, like
what? When?
No, you mentioned it last podcast, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, we did. Yeah, the last one we did during the day.
Well, and then today you were like, I can't drink or whatever.
I said I can't do a power hour.
Oh, that's right.
Which I totally could have. I don't know why.
But
you were scared of it. Your amygdala was acting up.
Yeah, it was just too active.
But then you hit me up probably like an hour and a half before I was coming here, and you're like, you drinking? And I was like, what? I'm on my way to the liquor store now.
I called him. I go, hey, are you going to drink? And he goes, what kind of question is that?
But you know what I love about the Wild Times is it's given me an excuse to do this once a week.
100%.
Like I don't sit at home and have beers. I don't do that. That's not, I've never been that guy. I don't sip whiskey in the evenings. Like during COVID, I don't. I mean, all more power.
Yeah, you're not a like daily drinker.
I'm not. I will have booze once a week currently, and it's during the podcast.
Right.
But it's given me an excuse to do it, and it's super fun. Like I don't get blacked out. I have 3 or 4 drinks. We do a podcast. I feel better at the end of it. Like I love this.
Here's the thing. In today's society, we've lost the art of conversation, and we're sitting down and having a fucking conversation. This is like brings me back in the day when I'd call up somebody on the phone and just chat for 3 hours.
So we're at number 20. Mm-hmm. We've been promising the Brisners, what the hell do we call them?
The Broisners, the Wildlings, the Wild Bunch, the Brosters. I mean, we'll figure it out one day.
Okay.
We need more votes.
The Wild Crew? The Wild Crew?
Wild Crew. Anyway, my point is we're at episode 20. We've been promising those that listen something something coming. And I think, we touched on it briefly. I think what we need to do, guys, we need to find a studio.
Yeah.
We need to get in there. We need to shoot this thing.
Yeah.
There's enough of you people that are listening at home, and I'm calling you people.
You people.
We still don't use a collective noun. Yeah. There's enough people listening and enjoying this and sending us comments week after week that they want this content on YouTube. So this is our promise to you guys. It might not be next week, might not be the week after, but it's coming. We're going to make
by the 23rd.
Yeah.
So,
we're going to make an effort.
So by 2023?
That's right.
The 23rd episode.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we will be doing it. It's fun. I like watching the podcasts I listen to. I just put them on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that I can kind of glance over.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is fun. I like to see the faces. I'm always worried. So I listened to this one football podcast for like a couple years, and then I realized they were on YouTube, and I was really hesitant because I had pictures in my head of what they were going to look like.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, if they don't look like that. And like the first podcast was so fucking weird to watch it.
Disappointing or what?
It was just bizarre because they were way younger than I thought.
Oh, interesting.
And much better looking.
Interesting.
And I was like, I just pictured them as, because they're talking about fantasy football.
Yeah, you thought it was fat slobs.
I thought they were going to be the biggest fucking nerds in the world, like me.
Yeah.
And they're much cooler, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, our listeners are going to think that I'm 450 pounds and that you're 3'11", and they've obviously seen Forrest because he's all over TV and shit. But
Yeah, he's waving his ass around on TV.
I am. It's a thing.
So let's get to some of the stuff that we usually talk about.
Yeah.
What the fuck's in the news, man?
What is in the news? I saw something. It's not recent, but it's something that I love, and this is news to me. Johnny Cash. We're all familiar with him.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan of his music. I found out, get this, that he had a pet ostrich. Okay, now we talked about terrible pets.
Strange.
We talked about terrible pets a couple different times.
Yeah.
Ostrich was on the list.
Peacock is your number one terrible.
I have 4 of them. Irrelevant. One thing I've never done with my peacock, unlike Johnny Cash, is tried to fight it. So,
why not?
Good question. True story. Johnny Cash tried to fight his full-grown pet ostrich, and get this, he almost died.
Well, I could see it.
What?
This is a real story.
Imagine taking a swing at an ostrich. Look at that neck. It's just bobbing around.
So I'm assuming because Johnny Cash was known for being a big drinker.
I have to
sure
imagine
he was fucked up.
Drinking
Yeah.
and drugs. Yeah, it's huge.
This is probably how his night started. Just how we're doing now with White Claw.
So my understanding is he owned ostriches, and one day one of them stepped up to him, and he left and came back with a weapon. I'm not sure what that weapon is. This is the article I saw.
2x4.
And he came back and tried to fight it. The ostrich dodged his attack and sliced open Johnny Cash's stomach and nearly killed him.
So I'm assuming the ostrich then used its claws, right?
Yeah,
Must
its
have.
feet.
Yeah.
They can't use that sort of crummy beak to slice you open?
That head's quite useless.
So an ostrich claw, I mean, what was that? So the cassowary was the bird that we ran into in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Describe that thing's foot, the cassowary's foot. Much more dangerous than an ostrich.
For sure. Well, they're definitely more aggressive. The cassowary is the 21st century velociraptor. If you look at the foot of a cassowary, you're like, oh, cool, that's a velociraptor.
Right.
Zero question, straight out of Jurassic Park, terrifying. Now, that being said, I've seen a lot of ostriches, and they are... If you were to piss one off, I'll circle back to a story of what I used to do as a kid, as a terrible punkish kid. But if you were to piss off an ostrich, it would kill you. Don't be fooled here. These things have massively powerful legs. They're dumb as dirt. They have pea-sized brains.
Yeah, it's a bird brain.
Even more
It's a bird
dangerous.
brain. Yeah, which makes them more dangerous. The fact that Johnny Cash was obviously fucked up, was like, fuck you, you stepped up to me. I'm going to go get a baseball bat and fight you. Came back and just got his ass handed to him by his pet ostrich is hysterical to me.
So I'm looking at the article. He came back. The ostrich stepped up to him. He was not happy with it. It was hissing at him, he says.
Okay.
Do ostriches hiss? Does that make sense?
They do, yep.
All right. So he came back with a good stout 6-foot stick. This is Johnny's quote. He was prepared to use it. It was on the trail in front of him. Then it went on the aggressive and started coming at him.
Okay.
Ooh.
Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
An ostrich will get aggressive like that?
For sure. Territorial more than anything.
Jesus. I guess I have to be more careful around ostriches. He swung the stick, and he said when he swung it, the ostrich had already moved.
Yeah.
Because it was a wild animal. It jumped in the air.
And because he was high as fuck.
Yeah, he was gonzo.
Yeah.
The ostrich was already in the air, and it swiped. He said he caught him with his claw on his toe.
Yeah.
And just gashed his ass open.
Yeah. There's a lot of force. It's a sharp claw. So when I love the story. I think it's hilarious. I'm a big Johnny Cash fan and his music. I'm a big ostrich fan because they're weird, goofy birds.
Super weird.
Yeah. Unknown, too. I mean, I've never heard that story.
No.
And I know all about Johnny Cash.
And ostriches.
No, nothing about ostrich.
So when I was a kid growing up in Zimbabwe, in America, you got PlayStation. In Zimbabwe, you got stick rock and ostriches.
Okay.
Right? Like we don't have these newfangled devices that kids over here have the luxury of.
You're not literally playing whatever the game that my fucking nephew's playing with his friends on a headset real time.
Right. That's all new to me.
Just a stick and a ball.
Yeah.
No, stick and a rock. We call it stick rock.
Yeah, that's why you suck at baseball, but go ahead.
Yeah. So a game that we used to play, kind of a coming of age game, if you will, is Steal the Ostrich Egg.
Okay.
Right. So here's a little fun tip for all you bristlers nerds out there.
Sure. Tell us about STOE.
STOE?
Steal the ostrich egg.
Ah, right. Yes, of course.
God. That's why you're a broducer. I mean, this is what you do. This is how you justify
Good
your
acronym.
job.
That was quick.
Yeah, it's called STOE.
So ostriches typically only look out. They very rarely look down, and this is well known. So in order to steal an ostrich egg, first thing you have to do is get its attention so that it perks its head up and starts looking around. Then you have to belly crawl up to, because they won't leave the nest. They'll march like 5-10 feet away from the nest. But as they perk up and start sticking their head up through the long grass to look around, you have to drop down and belly crawl so that you're under its line of sight. Grab an ostrich egg, scoop it under one arm, and then belly crawl back away. And if it catches you, it will kick you to death. Don't be mistaken. They will absolutely protect their nest and kick you to death.
They'll keep going till you stop moving.
They'll just come and give you what they did to Johnny Cash. They'll give you 1, 2, or 3 big kicks, but it only takes one.
How many friends did you lose to this game?
0, surprisingly. But this was like a coming of age thing. Like age 13, age 14, you go on safari, you go to Kariba. Everybody's drinking in Zimbabwe at that age, not kidding. Yeah. And it's like, hey, you've had 1.5 shandies, you fucking badass. Let's go steal an ostrich egg.
I didn't know Alex Graber was there.
Yeah, right. And this is what we do. And we'd sneak up, and if you got one, that was it. You've done it. You've stolen the ostrich.
Now, if it sees you running away with its egg, would it ever chase you?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to stay low until you're well out of range.
That explains a lot about why you are the way you are these days without the amygdala and all that. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is the game you were playing when you were a boy.
Yeah.
So what do they do? So then once you've taken the egg, that's a real good food source, right? I mean, you can feed a whole bunch of people with that ostrich egg.
I think there's 30 chicken eggs in an ostrich egg.
Yeah.
So you make a very big omelet.
A fucking disgusting omelet, I'm sure.
No, they're not bad.
Why would it be bad?
Very rubbery white.
Gamey.
That doesn't sound good.
How big is the yolk?
No, it's quite good. It's very rubbery. It's like racquetball.
How big is that goddamn yolk? Because that's the good part.
Big. Very, very big.
Steal the ostrich egg. You ever do anything like that, Ratep?
No.
You ever fuck with wild animals in your childhood?
One time I hid buttons around my house and tried to have other people find them. Is that weird? A bucket of buttons? They just...
Wait, is this really... Did you really
I swear
do
to
this?
God. There was a bucket of buttons, and then little kids, we would...
Whose buttons were they?
Yeah,
I don't fucking know. My mom, she didn't really sew, but we had a big...
buttons.
She didn't collect them. They were just in an ice cream tub container.
So this was every time a button fell off a shirt, your mom would be like, well, we might need this one day.
Yes.
And 15 years later, there was a Miss Margarine's tub of...
I wasn't 15. It was when I was so it was 6, 7 years. I wasn't 15 when I was playing Hide the Button.
Dude,
I was 6 or 7.
You were playing Hide the Pencil when you were 15.
I have a
Pat,
shelf.
what about you?
I have a shelf upstairs that there's just a collection of screws, nails, washers, circuits,
Oddball
things that fell off of something else.
Yeah.
And I looked at it a couple days ago, and I was like, I couldn't tell you what any one of these goes to.
Guarantee you didn't throw any of them out, though.
No, they're all there. You got to keep them.
You need them.
I
you never know.
Ice cream
Dude,
tub.
yeah.
That's weird.
I was just talking about this with somebody the other day. I'm in electrical cord. I have cords from 1987.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do. It just keeps collecting in this big bin that I take to every
Dude,
place.
mine's in a bin. I have a ball of LAN cords, the LAN cords you use to. I have a whole bin of them, and
There's zero land connections in your house. Zero.
None.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Oh man, Pat, did you play any weird games when you were a boy?
We did not. So there weren't a lot of exotic animals in Oswego, New York,
Well, no
unlike
shit.
Zimbabwe.
Were there buttons?
But there was. So there was a construction company that, like all the cement, it was this big construction company that was maybe half a mile from my house, and they had 3 Doberman that were vicious as fuck. And so
I like where this is going.
Yeah, so one thing we would do is we'd ride our bikes, or I was known for riding my scooter because my bike,
That kid.
Like a Razor or like a full size?
a full size scooter,
Dude, those
because
were
my bike never really had a usable chain on it. So I would ride the scooter. We'd go over there, and we would go around because the dogs where they would eat and mostly hang out was in sort of one corner, and so it was a fun thing to jump over the fence.
Okay.
Have the dogs come at you, and then
Sure.
you'd
Jump
have
back
to
over.
jump back over as these vicious Doberman tried to attack you. That was about the best we did. Now, again, would I do that now? Of course not.
Why?
What?
There's no reason.
No,
It's nonsense.
Once you get a little money and you can start buying things, that's it. It's over. You're not doing anything that doesn't cost money anymore.
You reminded me of, I would say, you guys have known me and how many stupid things I've done in my life.
Sure.
I don't feel embarrassment easily.
No.
Hard for me to feel embarrassed. The most embarrassing moment of my life, and it's cringeworthy to this day. And in hindsight, it's not going to sound that bad, but I have to tell the story because you reminded me of it.
Yeah.
When I was 13, I got invited to a BMX party. Right? Take your BMX bike, ride around the little track. It's got little like dirt bumps and
Oh,
shit.
nice.
You know, there's
Yeah,
like
sounds like fun.
Fucking great.
BMX party. Dope.
Is this in Zimbabwe or
It's
after
in
you come
Zimbabwe.
here?
No,
Okay.
it's Zimbabwe. Except I grew up on a farm and never, with no paved roads, and never owned a bicycle. At age 10, I got a motorcycle, which I was very, very competent on.
That's right.
I never owned a bicycle. So guess who showed up with training wheels at age 13
No.
to a BMX party?
Bro, when you say it's not that bad, that's horrendous.
I'm literally I'm cringing, right? Like you can see it in my face. Like, my
You're
face is
red.
going red.
You're beat red.
It's the most embarrassing thing that has literally ever
Let
happened.
me ask you a question.
What happened?
Wait, hold on. Walk me. So
it gets worse.
Wait, hold on though. So you come in with the training wheels on. Do you immediately know that like something's amiss, or like are you going in and maneuvering
Dude,
around?
it's worse.
Maneuvering.
It's so much worse than that. So I rock up with my bike. It's got training wheels on it. I've maybe ridden it twice. Don't know how to fucking ride a bicycle. Barry Mansfield. It was his party, right? Barry Mansfield, nicest guy. We're still friends. God, I hope he doesn't remember this.
Well,
he
will
remembers.
now.
Yeah. Barry goes, "Oh man, look at Forrest's fucking training wheels," and everybody makes fun of me. But Barry's mom says, "Oh look, Forrest doesn't know how to ride a bike, so line him up with everybody else who's going to race the BMX course, but let him get a head start."
oh my
So
God!
if you want to make
Mortifying.
things worse, be the one kid that gets a head start.
It's mortifying.
while everybody else gets held back.
I'm cringing inside right now.
dude.
Just
Dude,
hearing
this is.
It was so I
You'll
go.
never reproduce.
It was awful, dude. I go down the little hill, down the little dirt track, and I'm like getting to the first bump, going 1.5 miles an hour, and every kid on the track goes whizzing by me on their 2 wheels. Every single one. I come in 3 minutes behind the last guy. Didn't get one bit of air. I had fucking training wheels. Fell down 3 times.
Oh my God!
And like I remember tears were
So
streaming
good.
down my cheeks because I was so embarrassed, but
Yeah.
I couldn't not finish the course because
Right.
That's
you're
good though. I
well,
mean,
you're
that-
worse if you like fucking pull your training wheels bike off the side
Oh, my-
crying. So
oh,
I had
yeah.
to finish.
That's
You have
like
to
taking
finish.
your ball and going home.
Yeah.
Dude, this is not nearly as good, but when you mentioned cringeworthy, it's so crazy how similar the feeling was. I don't remember if it was like maybe 3rd grade, 4th grade, but there was an ice skating rink
Okay.
attached to my elementary school. And there was, it was like a month of buildup that there was going to be this ice skating pizza party.
Great.
At night on like a Friday night, whatever.
Big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
I lived right next to the school.
Yep.
Right. So I didn't have ice skates. I'd never ice skated before. So I told my mom I was really excited about this ice skating party. So we get a pair of skates.
Yep.
And we go to a yard sale.
Yep.
Find a pair of skates.
Yep.
Awesome. So I go to the thing. I go to the party. I walked, I think. And I'm there and I'm putting my skates on and I can see that I can sense that some of the older kids are laughing at me, whatever. Because they were wearing hockey skates, the other boys were.
Right.
I was wearing a pair of white leather figure skates.
Oh boy.
And I'd never skated before. So I figured I would just go out. You just move your legs. It works.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I go out. As I step onto the ice, this 6th grader who went on to be a criminal skates by in his hockey skates at full speed, checks me as hard as he can to the ground, calls me the F word, not fuck, the other one.
Yeah.
And then I just took off my skates and just went to this other part of the hockey rink. And there was going to be a giveaway of a big jar of jelly beans for whoever could guess how many jelly beans were there.
Oh my God.
And so I was like, look, if like they're going to make fun of me, I'm going to win the jelly bean jar.
Yeah. Smart.
So I sat there and I tried to count and use my advanced math skills because I was like, I'm going to win this jar of jelly beans. And then I didn't win the jelly beans.
Yeah.
And then I walked home because I was so embarrassed I didn't win the jelly beans and got laughed at. But I was still supposed to be at the party. So then I just stood in my front yard in the dark for like another hour before I went in.
Waiting for time to pass.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm going to get in trouble.
It's brutal.
So sad. But I mean, the perseverance and the character building that you both just went through.
Well, when someone fucking
Profound.
smashes you to the ground and laughs at you, you win the jelly bean contest.
Yeah, that's the logical progression.
That's the lesson you should teach all of your kids.
Everybody has those cringe moments, man. Like that you're just laying in bed and all of a sudden out of nowhere, boom, comes in, you're like, ugh. Like even as like a middle-aged man, you're like,
Dude,
what the fuck?
I'll never forget Barry Mansfield's as long as I live.
Yeah. It sticks with you. And dude, it's funny, man. So that's probably my number 2. My number 1's not, it doesn't even seem like it should be a thing, but
Let's hear it.
I was a little bit of a late bloomer when it comes to interactions with the females.
Yeah, you're still waiting to pop that V card, right?
Yeah.
That'll be a big day.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
But no, so I went to the movies with this girl.
What age?
I shouldn't say her name. This was sophomore year in high school.
So 15, 16 years
yeah,
old.
and she was really the bee's knees, man.
Great.
Yeah.
And
Great.
so I was really.
That's how you know you're old, because she was the bee's knees.
She was the bee's knees. I was pretty excited about it, and there was a lot of buildup because my friend was dating her best friend, and he was a year older, so he had his driver's license.
Right. He was way cooler.
So he picks them up, comes and picks me up. We go to the movies, Romeo and Juliet, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes.
Classic. Yep.
Go to the movies, sit there for an hour and a half. Everyone, a lot of kids that had sex at this point certainly made out. I hadn't done any of that.
Sure, felt a booby.
I don't know what to do.
Were you moving the hand over the seat?
Well, that's
were you trying
why-
any of the moves? Or
That's why if you see me running down my running path on Santa Monica Boulevard, you'll often see me cringing because I think about this moment still.
Oh,
okay,
God.
good.
So my hands are profusely sweating because I know I have to do something. And so what I did was I just, about an hour into the movie, just reached over, placed my hand on her knee.
Okay.
That's
It
not so
sat
bad.
there for 4 minutes, let's say, until I could feel that the sweat from my hand was penetrating into the fabric of her denim jeans.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I then removed my hand, put it back on my own lap, sat quietly.
You're nervy this whole time. You're like borderline shaking.
I thought I had done something, but I knew it was bad in the moment even.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just placed it back on my own lap, stared straight ahead, movie ended, said goodbye. That was it.
Oof.
That's not too bad.
It doesn't sound that bad, but it kills
imagine what he was
me.
going through.
Right, I mean,
mentally.
20 plus years later, I can't handle it.
There's you could not remember one scene or line from that movie because you were so in your own head,
Right.
dealing with how to move your hand, where to put it,
Yeah.
do you pull it back?
Oh, my God.
Why is it so sweaty?
Right. I don't even have sweaty hands. I can't get them to sweat now.
These are the things that we're worrying about as kids. We're not worrying about death, disfigurement, none of this. We're worrying about how to touch a boob.
I miss those.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, what exactly do I say? What is the exact line to say to get shirt off, boob touch? I'll poke it,
But it's
and
not
then
even
I'm out.
but it's not even that. It's more how do I avoid the embarrassment of looking like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, even though nobody knows what they're
And
doing.
it's not like she knew what she was doing.
No.
You know what I mean? Like you could have done anything.
But by the way, in your head, she has had sex with 1,000 dudes. Like, she knows exactly what she's doing.
So we have totally lost track from what's in the news. But before we get back on track, Patrick just reminded me about this from talking about running down Santa Monica Boulevard.
Oh,
You know what I'm going to
should we get into this?
Yeah.
I mean, I
think
feel
you
like
tell
this
the
is in
story.
line with the podcast. I mean,
It is.
science is involved in this.
And science be damned, because this is
All right, so
it makes no
you
sense.
set it up. You set it up.
Right. So I show up here to Patrick's house. We do sleepovers. What of it? You know, you've all seen Wedding Crashers. We
Yeah,
hang
big.
out. Yeah. So I came for a sleepover at Papa P's. And
Same bed, head to toe.
yeah, don't worry about it.
All right.
No worries.
No
And
worries. I'll have a guest room.
yeah, no worries. And bed's never been messed up in the guest room, but no worries.
Yeah.
And I show up at Papa P's, and he's like, "Hey, you want to do what we do and go work out?" And I'm, of course,
Jesus.
Smash it.
it's what we do.
V.
Okay.
And he's like, "Let's go for a run." And I'm like, "Yeah, sounds great." Look, I don't know LA.
Do what we do. Come on. All right. So
Yeah, we crush.
We-
crush.
I know, but it's not like you didn't really set it. You were like, "Hey, do you want to go get a workout?" And you can't.
No, we literally just made eye contact and nodded.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Zero
Yeah.
words said.
God
So
damn it.
to be
All right,
fair,
sorry.
Patrick and I work out together every single day when we're on the road.
Yep. Okay.
It's really fun. Usually they're like 15 minutes, and then we go drinking, but
Right.
it doesn't
Right.
matter. We enjoy it.
We get it in.
Yeah, and sometimes we work really hard, and
maybe-
this was one of those days.
Sure.
Patrick's like, "Let's go do this 3 mile, right? Typically,
It's supposed to be a 4-mile loop.
4-mile loop that I do." And I'm like, "Great, I don't know LA."
big loop.
He's like, "It's great. We park at this park. You run, straight down here, turn right, turn right, turn right, and you're back at the car."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Perfect. Let's do it."
Okay.
What happened, Patrick?
We embarked on the run.
Yeah.
We start going west on
Correct.
Santa Monica Boulevard.
Okay. Nobody knows what that is. Carry
We're
on.
going west.
Okay.
We make a
It's
right.
a singular street going one direction.
We just head west, then we make a right.
Busy road. Just a busy road.
Yep.
No, we're in a park. We're in like a cool park that runs along the road.
Okay,
Anyway,
okay.
so we go west for, 1.7 miles.
Yep.
Yep.
We make a right.
All right.
We run 0.3 miles up to the parallel road.
So now you're at 2 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not important, but we're now on a parallel road.
Yeah.
We make another right.
Correct.
To head back in the opposite direction.
To get
Sure.
back to the initial road.
This
that
would
we
be
ran
this
in
would
on.
be what we would call a loop.
It's going to be a loop.
Okay.
It's going to be a square.
Oh,
Yep.
big square.
A rectangle, but,
right.
whatever. A skinny one.
Yep.
So then we run 1.7 miles back, and we make another right.
Sure. Now
Now
you should
we're
be-
heading down
Right.
to where we started.
Right. You should be getting close to where you started.
Yeah. Then what happened, Forrest? When we got back to Santa Monica Boulevard, the road we started on.
Look, I've literally never been lost before in my life. Like I swear to God, like I've been misplaced for a few minutes. I've never been like, I am lost.
No phones, by the way, because
No
you guys
phones.
obviously have phones back at home.
We're
the
chatting.
car.
We're in
Sure.
tank tops, hats backwards. We're having a good time.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We appeared on the road, Santa Monica. Again, 100%. We both confirmed. We both turned right 3 times.
Yep. Fact.
We appeared
Okay.
back on Santa Monica Boulevard, 2 miles further down Santa Monica Boulevard than
Then-
where we made the initial right.
Yes.
We literally went through a fucking time warp, and I swear to God, we made 3 rights. It made perfect sense. It is
Swear
a
to God.
grid,
Well,
both of us.
You didn't. You did not make
We
3.
did.
We did.
I swear.
Bro, we didn't just start. We're not Zoolander. We didn't
Hold on.
go, what's a left and what's a right?
Yeah.
We made 3
Calm down.
rights
I
and
under-
ended up 4 miles from the car.
And I understand that you think that you made.
No, dude, I'm telling you, there's no
Phone
thinking.
sober.
That we were.
I believe that you were both sober. All I'm saying,
Okay.
were you in some kind of deep conversation? Do you have a runner's high?
Talking.
I promise you, we've run together a bunch of times. We work out. Like, I'm not directionally challenged. Neither is he. It's a fucking grid in Los Angeles. It's not rocket science. We went through a fucking
It's
time
not
warp.
rocket
Dude,
science.
it was, Peter,
It
I'm
was
not
bizarre.
kidding. Like, because Forrest was there, and like we've been in the jungle numerous times, like thick jungle where you're getting
Sure.
your eyes poked and
Good
shit.
sen-
And he always knows where we are.
Right, where
Yeah.
you need a good sense of direction.
Yeah, and I'm average. Okay, he's great.
We know. Meager.
This really did happen, and here's the other thing: there's no fucking diagonal road that would have taken.
We looked at a map when
time
we
warped.
got back to try and understand.
Yeah.
And it's a
Right.
grid.
So
time
I was
warp.
going to say, at the end of the day, you guys actually thought back to what had happened. You came back. You got back.
We went on Google Maps as soon as we got back to try and figure it out. We literally identified the streets we turned
Dude,
right
I
on.
do this loop twice a week.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
It's not like all of a sudden I
You're
blacked
grinning
out.
like we're fucking retards,
I'm-
but
Yeah. I
I
wish the-
swear to God, this is what happened, and it was. The run took us 2.5 hours.
Listen.
Oh yeah, because now we're 4 miles from the car, and so
Yeah.
we're like, We didn't know where we are, what time
you wanna
period
know-
it
It was like 9. It was like 10:30 at night by the time we got back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is called confirmation bias. You guys are both morons. You went the wrong way.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
know a left from a right, mate.
I'm not saying you don't know a left from a right. I'm saying that at a certain point, you accidentally went a direction when you weren't paying attention.
Says, by the way, the biggest conspiracy theorist in the world.
But when we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys
He's
are
like,
not
"Bro,
experiencing
bro,
paranormal shit on Santa Monica Boulevard in the middle of the day while going for a jog. That's not.
It was
I don't know,
twilight,
man.
by
I
the
think
way.
we, like-
left at sundown, so that might have something to do with it.
It's either that or like maybe we got hit by a car and jumped into another dimension, and now that's the one we're in.
It was the weirdest thing. Honestly, it was one of the strangest things I've ever experienced because we both knew exactly where we were at all times until we got back to Santa Monica Boulevard.
So here's what I want the Brosner / Wild Bunch to do.
Yeah.
Let's just go with Brosters. It's done.
It's pretty good.
Brosters?
good.
You like
Brosters.
Brosters?
It's for now, for podcast 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have a story of something that happened that you can't explain and you're like us and you're not people that believe in every weird thing in the world.
Right.
Yeah, if you wear a tinfoil hat, don't weigh in.
Yeah, if your hat's made of foil, don't do it.
But sorry, finish saying. What do you?
Yeah, no, leave a comment. We want to know what your stories are. We want to talk about them on the next episode because Forrest and I feel judged by our co-host very much. And it hurts a lot.
Yeah, it's as embarrassing as Barry Mansfield.
No, it's not. It is not.
You're worse than Mansfield.
Your face is no longer flush red.
It will be
know it's
after this
not.
guy.
Oh God!
Claw
Also,
number
listeners,
3 for Galante.
if you're feeling spicy, you could weigh in with your theory about what happened to Forrest and Pat. And if you want to message me personally on Instagram, they won't see it. We'll laugh about it privately. It's fine.
All right. What is in the
1950s.
motherfucker? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, this is I'm going away from Peter's silliness.
Selena's?
So, did you guys
drunk,
know this?
sir.
I just found this out. I found it really interesting. Frogs invented pregnancy tests for people.
How's that?
I have heard
Shut
that.
your fucking mouth.
I've heard that.
How's that possible?
Yeah. So what would happen is the first pregnancy tests took place in the 1950s, and frogs were used to help perfect them. And basically, what would happen is scientists would drop a drop of woman's urine sample onto the back of the frog. And if the human woman was pregnant, the frog would lay eggs because it was picking up that there was fertilization going on.
Holy shit!
And that was the first version of pregnancy tests.
That's wild.
Wait, explain this. So something about the woman being pregnant would stimulate the frog to lay its eggs?
Yeah, so, and the story gets weirder. The frogs are African clawed frogs
Okay.
that were brought in from where I'm from, Zimbabwe and Southern Africa. And now they run rampant, like they're a terrible invasive species all over Southern California, a few other places,
Really?
because they started shipping them in the gazillions to be these pregnancy tests. And yeah, what would
wow.
happen was frogs have, they breathe through their skin, so to speak, right? They have these pores that are very, transfers a lot of fluid from the atmosphere in and out of their skin. And that's why frogs are such a good bioindicator for when a waterway is polluted or when there's problems with pollution, chytrid fungus, etc. So what would happen is they would take these drops of urine and put them on the frog, and the frog's skin would absorb it, and then the frog would have a hormonal reaction. So if there was pregnancy indicated, the frog would reproduce like, it's time.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. And so that was the first version of pregnancy tests
That's crazy. And that was back in like the
in the 50s.
in the 50s.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I think we should get back to that.
It's not that long ago.
Why?
That's-
Why revert?
I'm not sure. I wasn't born yet, but it's close.
I think they're more accurate these days. What do you think?
I don't know. I like the frog idea.
You just,
I like the frog idea.
I mean, that's our parents/grandparents generation.
yeah, it's not that long ago at all.
My parents were alive. They weren't fucking in the 50s.
But they were around.
They were
Yeah.
thinking about it.
They were considering it, and if they wanted to figure out if they were having little Papa pee, they had to pee on a frog.
Take a whiz on a frog.
Yeah, so that's something. That's science.
It's funny, man. I remember thinking about interesting birth control techniques. Do you remember? I don't know if this was a thing where you guys were.
Pull out method, yeah.
It still hadn't Frenched yet when this was happening. But so we had a Taco Bell right next to our high school.
Taco
And now
Bell?
you've got someone's attention.
And some of my friends were sexually active when I was still putting sweaty hands on knees.
The vintage Taco Bell, too sexy. Vintage.
And so the great thing about Taco Bell, besides it being delicious and everything, was that they sold Pepsi products. And I love Mountain Dew, man.
Yeah, a little Baja Blast.
Not back then.
This was not back then. This was just straight green, man.
Yeah.
And so it was all you could drink because it was fountain soda. So you order your 6 to 8 tacos, whatever. You sit in there and you drink a shitload of soda.
Yep.
And so some of the guys that were sexually active in my friend group, we would go there and they would drink like 10 Mountain Dews because the theory was that Mountain Dew
sperm or
that was the
something?
idea.
I
Was
remember
that
that.
if you drank a lot of Mountain
yeah.
Dew, you couldn't get a girl pregnant.
Oh, my
boy.
God.
And it's like, I don't know what the science. I think the science behind that was that it tasted so good that that you're just coming everywhere.
Oh, my
it tasted
God.
good, but like
That is the science behind it.
no, it was just a thing that went around. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do. I definitely do. It lowered your sperm count. They said Mountain Dew
But
lowered
do
your
you
sperm
think it
count.
did, or do you think it was
No.
a brilliant marketing ploy by the Mountain Dew executives who were like, I know how to get every 14-year-old to drink more of this?
Right.
I mean, this is one of those things like Red Bull where, I legit thought that there was bull bile in it for years.
I thought you were going to say you legit thought it gave you wings, and you were the idiot that jumped off a building after slugging
Jesus,
one.
are you drunk? Relax. You're looking at me with such intensity when you
Well, I thought that's what you were
accuse
going
me.
to say.
No. I thought it had bull bile. I'm not that much of an idiot. I didn't grow wings.
Well, it did. It had taurine in it, right? Which is a hormone from bull testicles.
Correct. Right. But I mean, like it was supposed to be like bile from a bull's stomach, and then it had these magic properties and yada yada.
That's
so
what
on and
made
so
you
forth.
get the insane energy, which, by the way, doesn't even fucking work. Like, Red Bull doesn't do shit, dude.
Yeah, it gives me heart palpitations. It makes me want to go to
Gives
the
you your
ER.
tinnitus, and you have to take that.
By the way, the tinnitus,
Prilosec.
tinnitus is still around.
Is it really?
Yes.
From your one time of Prilosec?
I don't know what it is now. Now I got to go to the doctor. I'm just like,
Dude, but I can save you as someone who has tinnitus and has for many, many years.
fuck you. I don't want to hear it. Keep your
Shit
mouth shut.
Y'all can do. There's no treatment. But Forrest, I did want to show you this.
Shoot.
So a friend of mine sent me this and just said, "What the fuck is this? Can you please ask Forrest?"
Okay. Whoa. So that is a flying fox.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so when I said I think it's a huge bat, I was wrong.
No, you're right.
Oh, a flying
That's
fox
what
is the
a
type of
flying
bat.
fox is the world's largest bat.
So Peter, describe what I've just showed Forrest here. We'll put this picture on our social need.
It is a giant bat.
Did you know
But how
that?
giant? I mean, it's a
it's
woman
huge.
holding a bat that's bigger than her.
It's probably got a wingspan of, I would, looking at it, it's got to be like 3.5 feet.
Are you sure that's not a California condor? Dude, that wingspan. I mean, its arms are folded. This is the biggest bat I've ever seen.
It's huge.
This flew into my place through the
No,
sliding glass door right now. I'm killing myself.
Well,
somehow.
It's
No,
a
that-
5-foot wingspan. So according to Retep, that's your height
off,
in
boy.
wingspan.
Right. So there's a bat with a 5-foot wing. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. I've heard of a flying fox. I thought it was
Well, get this.
cuter than this.
No. I mean, they are actually pretty cute. I've had the luxury of getting to kind of play with some tamed ones. That is the animal supposedly responsible for coronavirus. Because that's the food bat, right? That's the
Really?
bat that people are eating because of their size. And that blood supposedly mixed with a pangolin is what resulted in coronavirus if it wasn't made in a lab, blah, blah, blah. But they are huge. They're, 5-foot wingspan, super intelligent, super cool animals. They live all throughout the South Pacific, Australasia. But if you see one, and I remember my first experience of seeing one in Micronesia fly overhead. It is terrifying. It's like a pterodactyl comes out
It's
of.
huge. 5-foot wingspan. And the wings, bat wings, which you like the sun glows
They're
through.
transparent.
Right.
Yeah, like
Right.
that's
And you
fucking
see
crazy.
their veins running through their membranes and their wings too.
Dude.
It is.
I would
It's
legit-
really something out of a scary movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a nightmare
absolutely.
situation. Well, so are these cave dwellers? These little fucks?
They
Little
mostly
fucks.
roost in
These
trees.
giant fucks.
They mostly roost in trees in big colonies, and they'll all sleep together. And then at night they'll go out and forage. They're fruit eating, and then they'll all come back to the trees. And in fact, the city of Cairns, Australia, Cairns as it's spelled, but Cairns is how the Australians say it. They have, I don't know if you want to call it a problem or not, but basically when they clear cut the area to develop the city, they left a handful of trees, as every city does. Well, all the bats in the area, because it's a very tropical area, decided to roost in the remaining trees. So now when you go downtown city streets of Cairns, Australia, of the 36 trees that's left in the city, there's thousands of bats in every single one shitting all over your car underneath it. But they can't cut them down because it's no good. That would destroy the bats' home. And it's like this whole thing in the city where every night is like something out of a Batman movie where as soon as dusk hits in Cairns, Australia, the sky turns black with these bats like leaving. Wow. And then every morning they all return in downtown Cairns.
That's fucking nuts.
Jesus.
It's actually really cool to see. It's bonkers.
Once. Yeah. It's cool to see once. And then
It's cool to see on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I ruptured my eardrum in Cairns, by the way.
Really? Scuba diving?
It was another situation of trying to impress women unsuccessfully.
Tell us. Tell us all about it.
I went on this. I studied abroad there. Went on a spring break trip that ended in Cairns.
I knew that. Yeah.
There was a bungee jump that was included, and so the idea, we were in the jungle. You're going to jump off this platform and dip your head in the water. Mm-hmm. The only thing they say you have to do is get your head below your feet when you jump.
Okay.
So that you don't. If it's because the thing's tied around your feet,
right?
So if you do a pencil, it's going to whip you in, and you're going to dip too hard into the water.
Jesus!
So I've never dove into a body of water in my life.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I practice all day at the pool, and I'm mostly just belly flopping. So we go to do the thing. It was a big, full school bus of us. I waited until last.
Yeah.
And with about 3 people to go, I decided I'm just not going to do it. When the second to last person goes, I'm going to walk back down the platform, just walk down the stairs and bail because I don't want to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
So like just as the second to last person's getting strapped up and getting ready to go, these 2 Australian girls that weren't part of our group that were very attractive,
I'm sure,
arrive at the top of the platform and they're drunk and they're like, "Oh, hey, you got to do it." And I was like, "Yeah." Yeah,
of course.
I hope you made that face.
And so I go out onto the platform, and then I just did a pencil. I just jumped feet first.
Oh, no way.
Whiplashed into the water.
Smacked your face again.
Jesus.
Smacked my head in the water, like went up to my knees, submerged in the water on my jeans.
No.
Yeah. And ruptured my eardrum.
Wow.
We were supposed to go scuba diving the next day, and I missed it.
Oof.
Well, so what happened? I mean, like, so you ruptured your eardrum. Are you like, I'm dying? I'm bleeding from inside my head. What did this feel like?
It hurt a lot, and it felt like someone had stuck their dick in my ear, and it was just still there. And then I just laid down.
There.
I just laid down in my bed, and it felt like the room was pulsating, like going whoosh, like I was flying toward. It was awful.
And nothing materialized with the 2 Australian girls.
They went to go scuba diving the next day. Of course not. They were not interested in fucking my pencil.
No, not when you were like, my head.
Yeah. So I went to the doctor the next day, and when I told him how I had done it, he was like, "What do you think happened?" And I said, "Well, I went bungee jumping last night." And he went, "Well, why would you do that? Of course you're going to get hurt."
So you're like, fuck. Good point.
Yeah.
Wait, I got one. One came across my desk, which is rare for this podcast.
Have a desk.
I know.
We're
I
all
said
the
that.
same.
Yeah, we're all at one desk.
It rolled across my desk. Okay. So there was a bald eagle.
A raven brought it to his desk.
Not a raven, but a bald eagle attacked a $950 drone in Michigan and sent it to the bottom of Lake Michigan.
We do a thing on our show.
Yeah.
And when I say we, I mean we encourage Mitch, our camera guy, to do it.
Aerial pursuit, as we call it.
Yeah, Forrest is very into it. Birds get gnarly, dude. We went after some turkey vultures.
Yeah.
Right.
Trying to get them on the drone. And you just kind of want to try and join their flock.
Okay.
They don't think it's a member.
No, they're not into it. Yeah, we've been attacked by turkey vultures and all sorts of stuff.
Our cameraman, Mark Romanoff, who builds drones, he's big nerd. He built like one of these cool, 50-pound payload drones with like 12 blades, whole deal, put a red camera on it and had a golden eagle come and nail it and take out the whole thing. You're talking about like $70,000 plus.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is a $950. This is big news that is all over the place.
Yeah, well, Mark Romanoff needs to contact the reporter.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo,
mine was $70,000.
Yeah, totally.
But dude, a bald eagle, dude, just fucking boom. This thing's just flying along. Apparently, it was documenting shoreline erosion and just fucking nabs a propeller. Poof,
no
down
doubt.
right into the bottom of the lake.
Yeah.
Documenting shoreline erosion.
But so this is a common
peeping
thing?
in girls' windows to try and see a boob.
This is a common thing. Yeah, if you're in the wildlife drone space, this happens a lot.
Are bald eagles very territorial?
They are territorial amongst other bald eagles. This is a very unpopular opinion. They're total pussies. They're a terrible symbol for our country.
Wait, well, okay, get into it. Why is that?
Yeah, they're just fish-eating sky chickens. Like they're not that. They're beautiful. Don't get me wrong, and they're very regal, and the way they fish is amazing. But they're just kind of like, they're pretty nervy. Like they attack each other for space, but otherwise they'll flee very quickly. Mm-hmm. They're dumb is the wrong word, but they're certainly not like, I think they're made out of the symbol of freedom and regal and bold. They're like big pigeons. Like they're not that
interesting.
I don't think it's a very good moniker for like a golden eagle would be a way doper symbol of freedom in America. Way bigger, way more. They kill coyotes. They're like big, powerful, huge talons.
Yeah, or a fucking owl, man.
Well,
like an owl. Owls stoic,
cool.
right?
Yeah, stoic, intelligent. Yeah,
nocturnal.
Dude, speaking of animals charging things, did you see that some swimmers got attacked by a humpback whale?
Attacked
or charged?
I don't know about this. Tell me about it.
Well, so I haven't gotten too into it, but basically a group of swimmers in Australia were out and they saw a mother and a calf close to the shoreline.
Okay.
And so they swam up to them and they got very, very close.
Yep.
And the mother was like, not into this.
Yeah.
Whipped her hair back and forth.
as a female gray whale will do.
Yeah, and it was a humpback. In other words, she smashed them with her tail.
Yeah.
They had broken ribs and internal bleeding. They were seriously injured, but not. They're fine. They're not dead. But I didn't even think a whale was. I mean, I guess they have to be capable of that. Otherwise, sharks would just come eat them alive. But
they're certainly capable of it, but they're very docile. So I would predict that this was coincidence.
Okay.
So I've dealt with whales a lot.
Yeah.
I have done a lot of that. I enjoy it. It's amazing. I've also been caught in the downdraft from their tails a couple times. So the downdraft being when they push their tails down to move. Mm-hmm. They're not doing it to try and hit you with their tails. They're just trying to like move away.
Sure.
But the amount of water that they push with that swipe of their tail, you shoot down from the surface or 5 feet wherever you're swimming with them to 30 feet in 1 second. You just get pushed down. It's like you're stuck in a vortex. You just go whoosh, instantly.
Whoa.
So my guess would be, and I've never been hit by a tail, and I really don't want to,
right.
But my guess would be that this wasn't a mother defending her calf. More likely, she was just putting herself between it and herself.
Moved quickly.
Yeah, moved quickly, tried to put herself between her and the baby, something like that, and her tail just whacked somebody. And it's not like she was like, fuck you. She was just moving, and that amount of force is enough to do a lot of damage.
Sure. I mean, it's a massive, I think I have a 56-pound dog that's only 8 months old.
Yep.
I hadn't had a bloody nose since high school. I've had 2 since I got the dog.
Luca?
Yeah, because she's just not in control of her body, and her head is like this bowling ball battering ram. Right. She's cracked me in the nose twice. Right. I've taken more nut shots than I did in middle school when the main game was to punch your friends in the nuts. Right. Like a 55-pound animal can just hurt you really bad. Imagine, a 50-foot-long humpback moving quickly to get in between you and the cow.
And there's these videos out there that the call of there's these videos out there that people might have seen them where. Because humpbacks are the whales that typically breach the most.
Right.
And you might have seen like the kayaker that gets like smashed under the breaching humpback and stuff. All of that's just coincidence. Like the animal's doing what the animal does, and you're in the line of fire, and it's bad luck. And my guess would be same thing here. Nothing actually aggressive happened. Right. The mother was just getting in the way, moving, hurting her young out of the way, whatever. And just the diver was very unlucky.
Yeah. So don't go out and start shooting at humpback whales.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Just don't do it. You don't have to.
Don't.
They're fine.
All right. So we've done a lot of bullshitting tonight. And I think,
people like that.
I like it too.
Yeah.
You literally were just like, hey, should we stop doing what's in the news and just talk shit the whole time?
No.
I'm kidding.
That's because I'm lazy. And
we got one bad review.
Yeah.
They're angry at how much bullshit we talk.
It's the only thing that requires preparation.
No, but we digress. Let's do one more thing that I found in the news that it
just come across your desk.
It did, yeah.
Okay, you love that. You love that saying.
Flying across my desk.
Yeah. The staff put it on his desk.
It hit home. It pulled at an emotional heartstring.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. because my entire life I've wanted one thing, and I'm not kidding about this. Patrick, you've heard me talk about this on a shoot before. I want a pet alligator.
Yep.
I've wanted it my whole life. I've seen Casper. Remember Casper, Chris Gillette's gator?
Absolutely, yeah.
He's like a puppy dog in a pond.
Much better trained than my dog.
Yeah, I've wanted a gator as a pet since I was like 9 years old. I don't want a crocodile. They're mean and nasty. I want an alligator friend buddy. And I've always had pushback.
Sure.
My whole life. Whether that's been for legal reasons or because it'll eat my
If it was
dog.
a mom, a girlfriend,
Anything.
who knows?
I'm keeping my mouth shut, but I'd be giving you pushback right now.
All right, so wait, what is it? What came across the desk that you sit at all day long?
That has to do with me having a pet alligator?
Yeah.
Well, I just saw my future as to how I will get my pet alligator finally is fucking headset is it just said recharge headset in the middle of my rant.
God damn it.
Is an emotional support alligator that works at a nursing home.
Wow.
Boom.
How does it work there? Is it calling bingo on Thursdays? What's it doing?
Justification, though. I mean, it's got to be pretty docile to be roaming around a nursing home, no?
Yeah, think about it.
Oh my God. The photo, it's an alligator, an emotional support alligator wearing a leash.
He's in a leash. He's in a harness.
He's in a harness.
And please note, his mouth is not taped up. He, he's
Looks relatively happy. He's walking on a nice Berber carpet.
Carpet. He's got a nice smile on his face.
He looks great.
He's happy.
Fine looking animal.
He's a happy animal. So he goes to these nursing homes. Look at this. The guy's got his fingers in its mouth. He's showing it to this delightful old lady here. I'm guessing her name is Doris. I don't know why. I'm just guessing that.
Not bring my mom into it. Please.
Oh, shit. Yeah, sorry.
3 in a row.
Wait, is it Doris or Dolores?
Doris. Lovely. Wow, it's a good-looking gator.
It's a good-looking gator. He's 4 foot long. He's an emotional support alligator.
Sexy gator.
In Pennsylvania at Luther Village Elderly Home.
So what's the deal? So they brought this in and it just entertains these people who are essentially near death.
That's the impression I'm getting. I think what happens is this guy comes in with his very well-trained 4-foot gator, puts it down on a table in its cute little puppy harness. Everybody comes by, gives it a pet, gives it a tickle.
So
sure, it gives you a thrill, right? It makes you feel alive. Tickling a gator.
You said well-trained gator. Are these easily trainable animals, or
okay? Let me be clear on this. Easily, no. Trainable, 100%.
Okay,
yeah.
fair.
So tell them about Chris Gillette's place, because we filmed there and you swam with a gator in the pool. And it was
in fact, we're going to
cool.
post this on socials. Peter, I'm going to give this to you as soon as we get off this podcast.
Will, I'm going to give this to you. Will, I'll give it to you.
Okay,
you post this.
down the daisy chain. But let's not forget, because this is important. I want people to see this.
Okay.
So our buddy Chris Gillette, he used to be one of the Gator Boys, if you remember the Animal Planet show Gator Boys. Super good dude, great biologist. He works at this place called the Everglades Outpost. And at the Everglades Outpost, there is this huge pond, crystal clear water in it. And there's what, would you say 20 gators in there?
Oh my, I would say more. There was
30?
Bro, they were fucking everywhere.
Well, this is Florida. Gators are everywhere.
No, but
anyway.
dude,
This is like a private place.
It's a rescue.
okay.
So he takes them out of pools and shit like that. But like when we were in the enclosure,
They're everywhere. You can't step.
oh my God, this is good.
Okay.
I want to talk about this, but yeah, continue.
Continue.
So anyway, so Chris goes out and he rescues nuisance gators that are in people's pools, eating their puppy dogs, whatever.
Right.
There's 2 options. They either go to a rescue like the Everglades Outpost where Chris works, or they get shot. They get killed.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the
You
options.
see that coming out of Florida all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And Chris is a good dude with a good heart who's like, I'm going to save these animals.
Because usually they kill them.
Yeah. And in fact, we got to get Chris on the podcast at some point. But anyway, Chris goes and catches these gators. Well, like 4 or 5 years ago, Chris gets a call, and this massive male alligator has like eaten somebody's dog and crawled into their swimming pool or something, right?
Right.
He goes and wrangles this thing. Guy's a badass, brings it back to the Everglades Outpost. And for the last 5 or 6 years, he's been working with it. He's named it Casper. And it's this like 8 foot long, maybe 9 foot long gator.
That's a big fucking gator.
Big animal. And it's like a fucking puppy dog, dude. And you can only do this if you're trained. And Chris is a buddy, and I'd been there before. So he's like, all right, Forrest, special treatment for you. Let's go work with it. And everybody's going to see this on our social media. You can tickle this thing on the chin. You can play with his hands. You can, everything. Chris kisses him on the nose.
Yeah, I literally can't even do that with my dog, and I'm not joking. He would bite me.
He would bite your nose.
Exactly.
He'd take a little nip.
And this is why I want a gator and why this gator in Pennsylvania makes such a good emotional support animal. And it's freaking awesome.
Do you look at it as like a challenge to break a gator, to like train one? Forrest?
I don't see it like breaking a horse. You know, the term breaking to me means you have to break their spirit in order to build them your way. These gators, like Casper is a wild animal. He came from the wild, but he has got a bond with Chris and he has learned to understand and accept people for what they are to the point that he's not aggressive towards them.
That's amazing.
It's a beautiful thing.
That is a beautiful thing.
It's pretty cool. So in this enclosure, Peter, so we go there to film. Forrest, you were behind the camera on this when we went there.
Yep.
So we went there, we had some other guys, and they were testing out this cool wetsuit. And so the idea was they were going to swim around this pool with Casper. Mm-hmm. And in the enclosure where Casper swims in the pool, there's, I would say, probably 30 to 40.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. They're all in this
4 foot,
spot.
5 foot, 6 foot gators.
Yeah.
Right? And so you're making a TV show. We're in there filming. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm directing cameras. Forrest is focusing on the story. Like we're doing whatever the fuck we're doing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you have, so what these fucking gators will do, the ones that aren't Casper, that haven't been worked with as much, is they come up on you.
Behind you, too.
Okay.
Real fucking slow.
Oh, yeah, that's how they hunt.
Quiet.
Isn't that how what they do in the wild?
Exactly right. They're ambush predators.
And Chris is so like, you know, we're all bros, so he's just like, yeah, like, you know, just if they come up on you, look at them and, you know, do this and
right.
Okay, cool. And then
hit him with a broomstick.
And then he goes and he's focused on Casper. So I'm there like fucking working and directing and you're producing. And every like 10, 15 seconds, you look and there's a fucking gator 2 feet away.
Dude,
and you look
looking
at
you. Yeah.
And dude, you got to look at it and make like an intense face.
Yeah.
And then he'll just stop. But and then you'll
That's
look, and then one will come up, maybe a 5 footer, and he's just coming. And you're like, dude, I'm looking at him. This is what's supposed to stop him. And he's still coming. And I'm like, bro.
Oh, dude,
and then you start stomping your foot, and he'll still be coming. And you're like, I hate you. And then he'll stop.
I feel like that's how you first behaved with my dog when you met him.
Dude, your dog is a 6-pound vicious fucking animal, man.
It really is.
But dude,
That's
it's so
crazy,
funny
though.
because eye contact, man, it's like if you are a single man or woman and you're in a bar, a restaurant, library, the vegetable section, and you make too much eye contact, it will be off-putting. You will creep someone out.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's the same way you can stop a wild alligator from biting you.
On a previous-
is make too much fucking eye contact.
On a previous podcast, Forrest or you, I can't remember, one of you mentioned that at the beach with seagulls, because they're like super aggressive, they'll come up, like if you have any food, they fucking are walking up to you.
Eye contact.
You do the eye contact thing. I do it every time now. I was just at the beach with my brother and his girlfriend. Yeah, tanning, sitting out, enjoying the sun. And like some seagulls were coming up and I was like, I was just like stare at them. I swear to God, it works. And like every time I tell somebody that, they're amazed. Meanwhile, there's literally seagulls. Like somebody left their shit and just like a swarm of seagulls picking up a fucking bag of hot Cheetos.
Were they eating hot Cheetos or deep dish pizza? Because your brother was there, so I assume they were eating deep dish pizza.
This is a beach on the Pacific Ocean.
His brother's. This is the first time he's ever left Chicago.
We're not talking about my fucking beach area. I'm talking about other beach areas. Not other people are not bringing deep dish pizzas to the beach.
I assume when your brother comes from Chicago, he brings a bunch of frozen deep dish in a cooler.
He's got Gio's deep dish with him.
You know what? He brought a cooler and had it checked at the fucking airport. That's it. I was like, by the way,
full of deep dish.
Since you're coming out, why don't you grab a large cooler, throw a few pizzas in there, some ice, check it.
He's like, yeah, was gonna not bring an underwear. Hope you have some.
But honestly, the eye contact thing is wild. I mean, even humans can't deny the eye contact thing. Like in the grocery store.
What you're saying is,
are you looking at me?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you looking at?
That's agreed.
It's what you're saying is you're learning things on this podcast.
You know I learn.
Things that save your life. Things that save your goods.
All right, so Forrest, you've got a nice big property, not rich by any means.
Not yet. Working on it.
But you do have a really nice piece of land there where you have all your animals.
Yeah,
and you've got a pond. You've got a bunch of turtles.
Yep,
not
peacocks.
Tortoises. That's
Peacocks that you hate.
You have a tortoise?
The two big ones out by the office.
Oh yeah, shit.
Giant
you got the
bunnies.
turtles in the pond.
Yeah.
Someone calls you tomorrow.
Yeah.
They go, look, man, our neighbor down the road, the one that we hate, you know who?
Oh yeah. Everybody knows him.
Billy Bob.
Jim.
You know
Maybe
who.
he's an actor. I don't know. His pet alligator escaped. It's in my pool. I'm going to kill it. Do you want to come get it? You want it? Do you want an alligator? It's 4 foot long.
100%.
So you would take it. You would do the pet alligator thing if you could rescue it.
I almost feel like I shouldn't be promoting this on air. Like people shouldn't hear this.
Well, this is you.
But I want it. I want it so badly.
Yeah.
Like it's
gonna outlive you, by the way.
I know that, but it's
Yeah.
okay. I will hand this down to my children and my children's children.
Sure.
How
You
long
know?
does an alligator live for?
Like 60, 70 years.
Really? Holy
Yeah.
shit, man.
Crocs way longer, dude.
Crocs longer.
Crocs like over 100
Yep.
up
Yep.
to, yeah.
Yep.
Crocs are already fucking ancient. I mean, they're dinosaurs.
I don't want a croc. And that's the
No,
thing.
right.
It's like, don't be fooled. They're different animals.
Well, so what's up? What's up with that? They're untrainable. They're just completely prehistoric. Fucking no amygdala idiots. Like
They are prehistoric for sure.
They're both prehistoric, but just far more aggressive. Just different temperaments. You know, it's
Sure.
it's like dealing with a cat. Okay, so get this. It just said power off.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can hear myself for the first time.
That's great.
Yeah, the headphones just started working.
Okay. So, all right, go ahead.
Wow, it's really loud. They're just entirely different animals. Crocodiles are aggressive. They're instinctual. They're mean. They're sneaky. And if you're a crocodile lover, I'm sorry, but I'm spitting truth here. You know,
well, and you love crocodiles too, yeah.
I love them, but I don't want one.
As
You
a
know?
layman, so I understand the physical differences in an alligator. Pretty much, like crocodiles are bigger. They're broader, like noses, and just they weigh more. They're just larger in general.
Typically, pretty accurate overall. Yeah.
But so do they both reside in the same areas? Like, or are they in different areas?
In South Florida, you have American crocodiles and American alligators living in the same swamps.
So you're hoping to encounter a fucking alligator and not a crocodile at any point.
Look, I'm
when you're
not
in the
going to poach
Everglades.
an animal out of the wild. I shan't do it.
No, I'm just saying
Right.
a
But
person.
when Billy Bob calls me and says it's in my
His
pool,
neighbor.
guy, it's got to go.
Right.
I'm there in a heartbeat because it's euthanization or living in my pond.
Sure. Right.
He's all day.
I love that
All
about
day.
you. No
Well,
promo.
and the difference too
No
is like,
promo.
if you're in the Everglades, right, you can trek through. I was filming a pilot that never aired, and we were with this dude who was literally the character from Adaptation,
Okay.
the orchid thief.
Okay.
And we were going through, by the way, his
I remember
name.
this, actually.
Yeah, his name
Yeah,
was
I remember
Bill Meshy.
Okay.
He was Joe Pesci's first cousin.
Right, Bill Meshy.
Are you kidding me?
Meshy and Pesci. Swear to
Wait,
God. I hope he's still
legitimately.
alive. Yeah.
Not a parody.
Not a parody. Fucking awesome, this
Be a
dude.
show
Hell
with
yeah.
Meshy and Pesci.
Dude,
Yeah.
this guy was incredible. But we were trekking through, we were waist deep going through looking for this fucking orchid.
Already
It's like one of the rarest
terrifying.
orchids in the world.
Yeah.
And he uses a stick
To poke gators.
to poke gators, right? And the gators will leave.
Sure.
A crocodile's coming at you if it's hungry in that
exactly.
scenario.
Opposite scenario.
It's a little bamboo stick is not turning it
Opposite.
away.
So again, it's weird because American crocodiles are definitely more timid. If you're in Australia, if you're in Indonesia, if you're in Africa with Nile crocodiles, these things take down wildebeest. They take down Cape buffalo. They take
Right.
down small elephants.
Sure.
Your bamboo stick is doing fuck all. You know,
Yeah.
it's doing nothing. But
Right.
literally, and don't get me wrong, a gator, if it chose to, could kill you with
Sure.
your bamboo stick. But that's the difference. They
Right.
don't choose to.
Yeah.
You,
Right.
you hit the gator with the bamboo stick, he's like, ugh, and he moves.
Yeah.
He's like a middle-aged human.
So it's funny because I saw a story. This is probably over a month old at this point, but a woman unfortunately was killed by her rescue dog, and all over the news it's reported that the rescue dog was a French bulldog.
Which the Frenchies are like small, cuddly, cute bulldogs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
like
I have an ex who had a French bulldog that was the reason we still dated after the first week for 2 years because I loved
Nice.
this. I mean, I
Nice.
loved this dog.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was just a fucking great dog. French bulldogs are dumb.
Yeah.
They're really cute.
Yeah.
They're really loving. They're small. Like I could punch a French bulldog to death in a fucking second.
Yeah.
Good visual. Yeah.
I wouldn't, but if I
get
needed to.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could.
You're not going to lose.
It's being reported all over the news that this woman was killed by her French bulldog. So I started reading into the story, and I finally found a source, and I saw a picture of it, and I was like, that's not a French bulldog. It was a French bulldog pit bull mix.
Of course.
That'll do it.
Now, I'm not trying to villainize pit bulls.
Please don't.
Yeah, no, of course not. But I love pit bulls.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them that live right here in this neighborhood that are really cool dogs.
I'm not saying they're all good or they're all bad. It's just,
But like this idea that like you could be killed by a pet. I don't even know where I was going.
Well, it's okay. But I mean, dude, Charlie, my dog would easily kill me if he had the opportunity. I just keep him in the other room when I sleep.
Well, like, you know, a gator.
Fucking alligator
pet,
owning,
man.
Well, listen, I mean, it is the perfect.
Do it.
It's going to bite your dick off.
I'm okay with it.
You're okay with the dick being bit off by the end?
I'm okay with him trying.
Would you walk the alligator around town?
100%.
This
He'd have
is-
the most adorable little harness.
I honestly think that you can make a show about you and the alligator.
Give me the gator.
Would it be? It would be a full series.
Maybe we'll paste it.
A special.
Maybe we'll post it on our eventual YouTube channel that
Yeah.
we're going to be starting.
Yeah. Horse and the gator.
Well, guys, believe it or not, as much fun as this is, we've got some real drinking to do. So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say it. It's time.
Battle Royale.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, my eardrums just ruptured.
Good.
I know what it feels like now.
All right, so Forrest, you came up with something.
Yep.
You're refusing to tell us what it is. Go.
I think it's good. I think it's good. And I'll tell you why. Because I love the Mel Gibson movie, What Women Want.
I thought
love
you
it?
were going to say Braveheart and maybe Apocalypto.
Nope. None of those action films. I'm talking
Women
about
Want?
cross-dressing Mel. with
Saw it
an
at the
hairdryer.
theater.
You guys
Good
remember
film.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
So for anybody listening that might not remember it, What Women Want is a Mel Gibson movie.
Can't wait to
where,
hear what
just stay
you're
with
gonna
me now.
fucking
Stay
do
with
for
me.
this
I'll feed
battle
you,
royale.
baby bird. You stay
I'm
with
There it
excited
is.
about this. I don't even know.
So Mel Gibson in the movie What Women Want, he gets his powers of hearing what women are thinking through an accident involving cross-dressing in a hairdryer where he falls into a
the way
bath.
we all experiment.
Yes,
Right,
of course,
yeah,
of course.
We've all been there, you know, whatever.
So
But-
a hairdryer falls into a bathtub, and now he can communicate telepathically with women.
well, he could just hear what they were saying. But
Okay.
stay with me now.
Yeah.
For our version of this, we're going to do our own movie, in our life. You have to do three things.
Okay.
You have to
Oh,
pick an
God.
animal.
Okay.
You have to pick the accident in which you are gained the telepathic ability to communicate with that animal.
Like it.
And now Mel Gibson basically used his powers to get laid. We're going to figure out what
Scumbag,
big
man.
time.
It's 2020, dude. Don't do that.
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
And so we're going to figure out what we'd use our powers to do with
Okay.
that animal.
So instead of hairdryer and bathtub,
It's
tell what they're thinking, get laid, it's like an animal. How do you get the power?
right. What's the accident?
And then what do you do with it?
What do you do with it? You got it.
Okay.
big
Can
time.
you please go first?
This is very, very complex. I mean, this is bananas.
looks, his face just turned plum purple.
Very confused.
Dude, we're
He
at an
developed rosacea of the nose.
hour 30. I've had 7 White Claws. I mean,
30.
I can't even fucking figure out.
So you want to go first?
It sounds.
No, I will not. Why? Are you trying to get me to go first? Fine, I'll go first.
I think
Fuck it. I'm a good,
wow.
I'm a good off
it.
the cuff
'Cause I just
guy.
thought of
I'll
the
go first.
definite winner. I just thought of the definite winner, but you go first.
Let's do it, Peter.
listen.
You never get to go first. Hit it.
All right, so this is an animal that everybody is fond of. It's people are fawning over this animal. It could be an insect. It could be called an insect even. I'm going with bees because
It could be called
In fact,
right, yeah.
in fact, anyone who knew what it was would say insect.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not
Very
an
good.
arachnid
Very
nor
good.
a mammal.
Yeah.
bees are fantastic. I literally love and specifically honeybees.
You like to eat the honey.
Listen to me. Actually, I'm not going specific to honeybees. I'm going all bees everywhere, including honeybees.
Okay.
So my bees, so I have my power is, so I'm
So let me
telepathic.
paint a
with it.
picture for a second.
I'm
Stand
still
back.
trying to understand fully
Yeah,
what I'm
I
doing.
can tell
here.
you're struggling.
God,
with
you're
this.
stupid
So,
as fuck.
Are you out of your fucking mind? This is a very complex battle royale.
I already know mine, and I'm going
You
to win.
wonder why I
Okay,
open
stand back.
Shut your
podcasts
mouth.
angry.
Breath. Shut your mouth.
You love bees. What are you doing involving bees? Like Mel Gibson was shaving his legs with a hairdryer when he fell in the tub to get his powers. What are you doing with bees that give you the ability to telepathically communicate with the bees? And then what purpose are you using the bees for?
Easy.
Okay.
I ate some bad honey. I had some
come on.
bad honey.
Come
what
on.
do you mean?
That's so weak, dude.
Are you fucking kidding me?
you ate some honey never
Spider-Man got
spoils.
bitten by a spider.
He did get
I
bit
ate
by
some
a
bad.
spider.
A
Fuck
radioactive
off.
spider.
Listen to me. It doesn't
Okay,
matter.
all right, you ate bad
So I
honey.
ate
Yeah,
bad honey
you're
from a
filling my
radioactive.
battle royale.
Listen to me. Stop interrupting. This is uneditable because we were live
Please
in the
continue.
same room. So I ate some bad honey from a radioactive beehive.
It was in Chernobyl. He was vacationing.
Christ almighty.
Need some honey on his
No
waffles.
backstory whatsoever.
What are you talking about? I was fucking beekeeping, obviously. What else would I be doing?
looking for. This is
The story. Give me.
So he's taking
yeah.
a beekeeping
I was-
course in Chernobyl.
Quiet. I was taking a beekeeping course in Chernobyl. And there
You were feeding him.
This is
You guys
good.
would be surprised. Fucking bees are flourishing in Chernobyl.
Okay.
Because there's no humans.
Okay.
So, anyways, the bees were radioactive. There's a radioactive hive. Yada yada yada. I ate some bad honey, radioactive honey, and now I
you can communicate with bees.
communicate with bees telepathically. And you guys wouldn't believe it. Much like the fungus discussed in the last podcast, bees are an entire consciousness. In a swarm, it's one consciousness. They work together.
Okay.
And
when you're telling them what to do, perhaps.
correct, whatever.
Gotcha.
We don't know. I didn't do a double-blind placebo study, so I don't know what they were doing before.
Okay.
I met them and ate the bad honey, but I can now telepathically communicate with these bees.
Yeah.
So clearly, I will command a swarm of bees to follow me around and buzz a theme song. Every time I enter or exit a room, they will buzz a pleasant theme song of my choosing, whichever. It could be fucking. I can't think of one right now because I'm tipsy. And if anybody says shit about it, I will have my swarm kill them, their
Sting.
family, all of their pets, including alligators, mean little French bulldogs, because I control all of the bees in the world now.
Horribly dark. So,
It is.
right. So he's beekeeping in Chernobyl.
Yep.
He eats some bad honey,
Radioactive.
radioactive honey. Now he can communicate with bees, and he has them buzz show tunes, theme songs.
Right.
My
games.
choosing, it could be
The Price
Third Eye
is Right.
Blind. It'd probably be a lot of
Third Eye
90s
Blind,
tunes.
some Smash Mouth, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. You're definitely going to win.
Want to take it?
Yeah.
All right.
So, me and some friends, and I have a few friends in LA that are
you
like a
don't.
little hipstery.
You have
Yeah.
zero.
a little
you do.
hipstery.
You do. I've met a few of them. They're
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So we're doing like sort of like it's like a sarcastic sort of tongue-in-cheek visit to the Red Lobster.
Okay.
Look, we're like, wouldn't it be funny if we went to Red Lobster?
Yeah.
So we drive out to Thousand Oaks to go to the nearest Red Lobster.
Oh, Thousand Oaks, because you're, yeah.
We have a lobsterita. It's only 40 ounces of frozen margarita that makes you feel sick.
Yeah, it sure does.
And we get the all you.
come on.
We get
It's
the all
funny.
you can
Fuck
eat.
off. I always get shit, and
You
then
didn't even
Pat
have a
goes, you guys are
backstory.
such fucking, you guys
I've
love-"
never won.
All right.
All right. So then you I'm like, yeah, let's get the all you can eat shrimp,
Okay.
right? But I'm so fucked up from my lobsterita that I sort of lose sight of the fact that I have an entree coming.
Is a lobsterita a fucking margarita with lobster in it? What is it?
No, it's what it's called at the Red Lobster. It's a
just big.
40-ounce margarita, frozen margarita. It's too much.
Okay.
It's brain freeze and sugar in a cup.
Okay.
Dude, you will get sick and hungover as fuck
believe
from
it.
one.
Good choice then. Good choice.
I'm going to do it because we're being funny.
Yeah.
Right? So this is in the movie that is going to be my life.
Yep.
Yeah.
So whatever. So I get drunk. I'm fucked up from the sugar. My blood sugar's all off. I get the all-you-can-eat shrimp app. Forget that I have a lobster coming.
Appetizer. Okay. Not like
I'm not even focused on the Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Okay.
So I eat just way too many shrimp.
Okay.
I ate like almost 100
That's too many.
cocktail shrimp.
It's way too many.
Nah, it's
What
just
happens
right.
is I don't, like the teacher said, you eat too many PBJs, you'll turn into one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to turn into a shrimp, but I'm going to develop the ability to communicate telepathically with all shrimp-like animals.
Fucking bad honey is worse than this. Forrest, I am fucking pissed that you are loving Pat's.
I just like the setup, the storytelling, man. You're just like, I ate bad
I'm
honey.
not a
That's how you
goddamn
led with
producer.
that.
Yeah,
This
I
guy-
painted a story.
Yeah, well, he's a good
Whereas, like,
storyteller.
you painted a diarrhea.
You literally, your first
Carry
thing
on.
you said is, I ate bad honey.
Carry
There
on.
was no
I'm not
showmanship.
I'm not in TV.
But now it's good because you went to Chernobyl, you were beekeeping there, it was a family vacation. I like it now.
Yeah, it was really nice.
You just came out of the gate firing.
Yeah,
Whatever.
So anyway, so now
Also, it's
I
ridiculous.
can telepathically communicate
ate
with
too many
shrimp-like
Okay.
creatures. Okay.
Many
So,
people have eaten
interesting-
too many shrimp. Many people have eaten too many shrimp is all I'm saying.
I ate way too many of
Yeah,
them.
but
Okay,
did they
fine.
also have a limerita? Sorry, lobsterita.
Was
love
it a mix of the limerita and shrimp? Okay.
Anyway, little tidbit for you, Forrest. Imagine you took all the people in the world
Okay.
and had, 8 billion people. That's going to weigh a lot,
It's a lot.
right?
Yeah.
And you had them all swim up to a boat and cling onto the bottom of the boat. 8 billion people. Let's say they could grab a ship.
There's nothing it couldn't sink.
It would sink any ship in the world. Well,
think
get
you just
this,
stole mine.
motherfucker.
Shrimp are not people.
Okay, no, but here's the thing. That's
2020.
I'm
shrimp
trying to throw a tidbit in for the Wild Bunch.
Okay,
And the Brosners.
Yeah.
Keep your fucking mouth on the microphone.
So Peter and I worked on a show called Whale Wars back in the day.
I recall.
It was all filmed in Antarctica near the Southern Ocean.
what a long-winded diatribe.
No, honestly, come on.
Okay, go.
So we filmed the whole show in Antarctica in the Southern Ocean. There's a tiny shrimp-like creature called a krill.
I'm familiar.
Krill, right?
Yeah.
How big is a krill?
Even I've heard of a krill.
They can range from microscopic to very, very small.
Like the size of a pencil lead, right?
Yeah, tiny.
Super tiny. So we use this tidbit because the whales in the Southern Ocean that go there to feed, they eat krill. These microscopic little fucking shrimp-like creatures.
Microscopic. That's what they are.
The biomass of the krill just in the Southern Ocean
Yep.
weighs more than every human on Earth combined.
I was familiar with something similar to that, but that's insane. Yeah, the biomass is incredible.
So what I'm going to do, now that I can communicate with all of the krill in the Southern Ocean, which weighs more than every human on Earth combined, is I'm going to pirate. I'm going to become a pirate.
Great.
This is what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to telepathically. Now, I know that ExxonMobil is sending a $500 million oil ship full of oil
Mauritius.
to Mauritius or wherever it's going. I'm going to command my krill to latch onto the boat and start sinking it.
I'm not even kidding. Mine wasn't krill, but you stole my overall theme.
Okay.
Swear to God.
And what I'm going to do?
The Chinese fleet off the coast of the Galapagos.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I was going to sink with my powers.
You should still do it.
Yeah. No.
might
You
win.
finish.
Well,
Because I'm doing mine for profit. You're doing yours to save animals.
You guys are friends. You could do a little pro bono work for him.
Anyway, the CEO of ExxonMobil gets an email. It says, in 30 seconds, your ship's about to sink unless you initiate a bank transfer of $10 million to this offshore address. He doesn't do it. My krill sink that motherfucker's ship.
Right. Never again will.
Well, I think you got to go.
Yeah.
Well,
So I'm going to become a pirate with my ability to command shrimp.
Yeah.
right. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I ate too much of Red Lobster.
However, I would say, let me give you one bit of advice. You're a bad pirate already. You need to sink a smaller ship.
You pronounce butt pirate wrong.
Listen to me.
He's a butt pirate.
He's a
already.
fantastic
What did I
pirate.
do? What did I do wrong?
Nothing
'Cause
wrong
I'm
with that.
very good at pirating.
No, you're terrible. You wouldn't go after a giant $500 million filled
It's not
with
gonna be my
oil.
first. I'm going to sink.
No,
this
you
this
didn't
time.
say that. That's what I'm saying, mate. Your idea was fucking shit, and I'm better than you. Forrest, what's your idea?
Wow. All right. So
I'm the richest man in the world. I control all shipping with my krill.
Not yet. When
you
was
could
the last
literally
time you've
hold
been?
Jeff Bezos hostage?
I'll kill him.
When was the last time you ate Red Lobster?
Look, I actually think both stories are great. And I like the
you.
biomass angle because you're both doing that. You just don't realize that, Peter.
That's right.
Stupid.
No, I realized.
But,
I looked it up. I looked it up.
Chernobyl honey trip and Red Lobster excursion, they're great. Initially, and I'm not going to give away my animal, I was going to do basically the same thing Patrick was doing, except with the intention of saving the world by drowning Chinese fishing fleets off the coast of the Galapagos.
I like it. I see.
But it's been taken.
Noble
It's
cause.
done. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just telling you, I was going to communicate with orcas. I had my whole accident planned out. They were going to go sink all the Chinese fleets.
God, you must have come up with something on the fly after that.
I have. Yeah, no, that ship has sailed. So,
No pun.
so here's what I'm going to do instead. Right. It's a late night. I'm here
Very late.
at Patrick DeLuca's. He's like, "Hey man, you wanna take the garbage out for me?"
Okay. All right.
It's one of those weird nights. We've all seen them where Los Angeles gets a lightning and thunderstorm. Right? You've all seen them. And you're like, "What's weird? Why are there thunderstorms in LA?" No rain.
No rain.
It's just lightning and thunder.
Yep.
And I'm walking out, Papa P's condo, got a bag of trash in my hand, go to the dumpster behind the alley there.
Yeah.
And at the very moment at which I drop the trash into the dumpster and notice an adorable raccoon in that dumpster.
Which there are.
There are. I've seen them. Lightning, that mysterious lightning that makes no sense that shows up in Los Angeles, strikes the bag of trash in my very hand, simultaneously hitting the dumpster and the raccoon and myself.
Yes. And the bag of trash, which could have anything in it.
Anything.
Yep.
And I wake up flabbergasted by this event.
Yep.
And I'm standing next to this green dumpster that's out back, Papa P's. And all of a sudden I hear, oh my God, this is the most delicious leftover Taco Bell I've ever heard. And I realized right then and there that Bandit the raccoon, I can communicate with. Yeah, I know his name. I can communicate with him already.
This is by far the only feasible story so far.
Now stay with me. I have now gained the power to communicate with nature's most ignored creature, the dumpster panda, the trash coon,
the catfish of mammals.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm telepathically communicating with raccoons, and so I formulate an army of raccoons across all major cities in the United States and anywhere else that they exist, but that's primarily the U.S. and Central America and up into Canada.
Okay.
And anyone who is doing any kind of environmental harm gets sabotaged by these raccoons. Now, you might think, how, Forrest, would you do that? A raccoon is not very intimidating. It's a small, adorable animal.
I find them very intimidating, but go ahead.
Can you imagine if 12 raccoons smashed in? They can get anywhere, by the way.
Yeah,
They're in your
bro,
fence.
they live on your roof, in your
You name it.
You're fucked.
Yeah, they're
Crawl
spies.
space.
They are the kings of city espionage. And they're coming in. They're
amazing.
causing havoc.
Sure.
If a raccoon decides that he is done with you and your place of living, you're moving. There's no other option. There is no other option.
Dude, they will crawl through your sewer, up your pipes, and the next time you sit to pee for a treat,
Bite your nuts off.
Yep.
Yeah. 100%.
Or burrow into your anus and live inside you if it wants.
Lay eggs.
So now I'm the raccoon man. I'm speaking to raccoons, and I'm doing nothing but environmental good. I'm going around. I'm cutting power lines where there shouldn't be power. We're sabotaging.
Like it.
We're sabotaging plants. Like big polluting plants. We're doing nothing but good with our raccoon powers. Then at night we're going back to the dumpster and having a tasty treat of trash.
Dude, you could also just start like a shadow Twitter account called like Gorist Falante. and you're just like, hey, big energy CEOs.
Yeah.
If you do shit that I don't like, you dead.
What's with you fucking holding everybody hostage and trying? I know you.
I'm angry at big.
Listen to me.
Energy. I don't know.
So we have three very different fucking things that we've created.
You're making honey? I don't remember.
Listen, I know you don't remember because you're so fucking intoxicated by power. We have evil Pat, the broducer over here, who wanted to essentially, he ate too much Red Lobster.
I'm wearing an eye patch.
And he then was able to control all shrimp in the ocean, including krill, which would latch to the bottom. I'm not high-fiving you. I will never high-five you for a battle royale.
Smart, COVID.
He's a villain. He's evil. So if this were a movie, he would be the villain. He's evil.
Pirate.
Forrest.
He's very rich, though. Let's be clear. He's making
not
one
yet.
of the richest men in the world.
Not
one
yet.
of the richest men or women in the world.
Legit. You were going to take down a $500 million tanker before I told you. Why don't you take down a smaller canoe first and threaten people?
It's not profitable.
Let's continue.
And then there's Forrest, who is the hero of the story, the protagonist, if you will. He will be taking over by accident. Lightning struck a dumpster, a trash bag he was carrying. Raccoon, he turned into Raccoon Man. And now he saves the world from people like Pat.
Environmental harm. Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Well, I'm sinking tankers. So raccoons versus shrimp, you've got your work cut out
I'd
for you.
lose, to be quite honest. There's not enough biomass of raccoons.
All right, and then what are you doing? You're making
Quiet.
sort of mead and selling it at the street fair in Bend, Oregon?
And then if you'd like to just relax a little and just think about, visualize what I'm doing. I'm just walking around with a swarm of bees with my hand in a honey jar.
Backstory. You gave our backstories.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I ate bad honey.
Annoying.
Fuck you. I am not the storyteller.
So
what are you talking about? He asked me to
here's what's
do
annoying.
it. He asked me to do it.
If the Brosners / Wild Bunch
I'd love to hit you. Sorry, go ahead.
Never could.
Go ahead.
Too fast.
You're not going to let me fucking explain mine?
I'm just saying, if any listeners vote for the brofessor,
You didn't even let me get it
I'm
out.
out. I'm done with the podcast.
Listen, I would.
That is garbage.
You are easily replaceable. You're unprepared. I came here. You went and you shuffled around in your fucking. I don't even know where you were.
Tens of our listeners are for me.
You were gone. You were in the attic for hours. You come back. The device we needed to start recording was right there. You're unprepared. You are not a good producer.
Right, so I'm going to recap because your recap just lasted 12 minutes.
Yeah, you just farted in your own soup.
So I'm going to recap. Peter, don't get angry. Take a deep breath.
Well, I'm not
see
editing
him?
it out. It's
Yeah.
going to
You
be.
see him?
It's
Yeah.
going to be.
It's so
two
nice
recaps.
being in person because you can see his stress.
the
gonna be-
disdain is
I'm
like
not stressed at all.
fuming.
I am not stressed. I just fucking.
Don't mind my eye patch.
Here's the thing. If you go over the entire thing, I'm leaving both fucking things in. I'm not cutting out mine first.
That's fine. Yours went on for 12
God.
minutes. Everybody's locked.
So
I have
add
to
another
do it.
8 minutes.
They
to
X'd
it.
out. Yeah.
What are you
I'm
talking
gonna add
about?
about a
X'd
minute.
out?
Their phones died.
Yeah. Okay, here
You
we
guys
go.
are the worst.
Peter is on vacay in Chernobyl. He's beekeeping, of course.
Yep.
He eats radioactive honey. He's now capable
Look
of
at you two.
communicating with bees.
Yeah.
And he decides to sing show tunes
Yeah.
and have them sting
That's-
people he doesn't like. Is that
Yes.
correct or wrong?
Yes.
It's correct, but
Thank
I don't
you.
like the way that you guys are just fucking. First of all,
I'm
you're
smiling at
ganging
you.
up on me.
I'm smiling at you.
You're
We're not
ganging up on me.
ganging up on
What
you.
is this
You just
thing?
took a long time to explain it. Now you're taking away from me explaining it, and nobody's going to vote if you don't be quiet.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Okay. Patrick
Yep.
goes to Red Lobster, drinks a lobsterita, 32 ounces of sugar,
Maybe
booze.
40.
You know, what a mistake. Eats way too many shrimp. And now the guy can communicate with all shrimp and shrimp-like animals, uses krill, the largest biomass of living creatures on the earth, to take things hostage and becomes the new Jeff Bezos of the world, an evil rich guy.
Yep.
Did you say Bezos or Bezos?
Jeff Pesos, I believe is what he said.
And he has an eye patch.
Okay.
I'm taking trash out. I'm in LA, one of my rare visits. One of those freak lightning storms comes by. I get zapped, as does the trash panda, the raccoon who's in the dumpster, as does the trash bag. And I'm now able to communicate with a seemingly wow, I'm buzzed.
Oh man.
Innocuous.
With a seemingly innocuous animal, the raccoon. And I set raccoons across America to do good bidding and stop evil big energy, as Patrick says, and anybody else that's doing bad things, because raccoons can run amok.
Right.
Now, what we would like the Wild Bunch to do,
Brosners.
the Brosners, is to go onto
Wildlings.
iTunes,
Right.
tell us who wins the Battle Royale. We're sorry it took so long. We're sorry Peter got
No.
so angry.
All right, fuck off. Listen, if there's another passive-aggressive jab, or vote on who had a better description at the end. Thank
Yeah,
you.
sure, do that. But just give us some love. Go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. Let us know whose Battle Royale you like. We love doing the Battle Royales, and you guys obviously love them because we hear about it every week. So thank you very much for that.
Show us the kind of love that Pat and Forrest have for one another. And
What a lot of overseas trips does, man. You have a lot of time.
can you shut up for 2 seconds? And follow us at wildtimespod.
What is it?
.com. It's at wildtimespod, and then go to our website, the Wild Times
We got
Podcast.
Twitter.
Also, by the way,
Instagram.
if my story about putting my hand on the girl's knee made you cringe, or you have a cringy story, I'd rather hear about that than see the overwhelming support for my Battle Royale.
It would be fun to read some of those on air.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
it
like
would.
if
Oh,
you guys.
shut up.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
guys
you're right.
and
I don't think
girls.
that'd be
No,
fun.
I do think you're right, but Pat over. Yeah.
God, he's ugly.
God, I can make an ugly
All right,
face.
so
Ugly.
maybe
right.
leave us a story about your most cringeworthy moment. Do it on iTunes. I know people are sending us Instagram messages. They're sending us Twitter messages. It's hard, guys. It's hard to condense all those, right, Peter? Wouldn't it be better if they were leaving them on iTunes with their reviews?
Yeah, if anybody did
yeah.
work other than me, it wouldn't be. But yeah,
Right,
fine.
but that's not going to happen.
Good,
So,
good.
So leave us a 5-star review. Vote on the Battle Royale. Tell us your most cringeworthy story, and we will read it on air. Feel free to not include your name if you're too embarrassed.
Or the young man or woman's name that was there when you embarrassed yourself so horribly in middle school or high school.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
Love you guys. Not you guys, the listeners.
not listeners.
Forrest, what are we going to do now? Because we're here for a little bit, and he's...
Oof. Well, I think we should tie him down. And if you ever tube socked anyone, or you just put a bar of soap in a tube sock?
No, but I have a bunch
I mean,
of clementine oranges.
You guys
Ooh.
are. This brings me back to my being bullied days.
You were never bullied.
I was.
You're huge.
You're
I
giant.
wasn't. I wasn't huge. I was
the size of an orangutan.
You know that
small.
humans start small, right? Humans start small. We're not always big. You fucking.
I literally watched your knuckles drag on the ground when you walked.
Oh yeah, that's not abusive. That's fine. My knuckles dragged on the ground.
All right, orangutan.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
This was a fun one, number 20.
You guys are idiots. I hate you.
Oh, yeah.